Welcome back, everybody, to the VCT Game Changers Academy, sponsored by Verizon and AIM Labs. I am back with Becky Bear and Epitomes, and we saw the game of a lifetime. I believe it was, oh my goodness, if my mind isn't crossing me. Oh my gosh.
It was
Randos,
Randos to take it home.
Yeah, Randos took it home. Okay, listen, it's
Yeah. It was a very back and forth game and a
Yes.
very back and forth series, so not surprising that it's kind of like both of the teams played really well. Hard to remember who exactly ended up coming out on top. It was Randos.
no. I knew it was I knew Randos won. I guess I was just I was having a moment there. But yeah, Randos ended up actually taking the map. It was a 2-1 game, very close. And I mean, Becky, you saw it in action. It was honestly, I was assuming that Randos might have taken it 2-0, but the fact that we did see get that map get taken off of them, honestly, that's kudos to them. But we will have to see the next game. We have Monkeys versus Team Mystic Venus, and this is going to be a fun one because Becky, I believe that Team Mystic went 3-0 within groups.
Oh yeah, they went 3-0, and honestly, I would have expected Dart Monkeys to go 3-0 too, but they did end up actually losing a game to Randos, who we just saw win their series. So,
Mhm.
I mean, if we do end up seeing Dart Monkeys go to finals, it will be a rematch between group stages of Dart Monkeys versus Randos, so that could be really entertaining actually.
Yeah, and I mean, you said it. It's that rematch in order to see, okay, well, is Randos going to be able to take more than one map off of Dart Monkeys, or was it really just the warm up? Because I do believe Dart Monkeys had Randos within the first game. So maybe it was just, oh, we're not warmed up yet. We haven't had that practice. So whatever the case may be. But this is the matchup that we're going to have to watch, Team Mystic versus Dart Monkeys. So we're going to head over to that map selection and see exactly what's going to go on. Of course, Epitome, you are the map expert, so I'm going to trust you with this information.
All right. So we got first up Band, Fracture, and Split, which are probably, it makes a lot of sense here why people would ban Fracture. It's just one of the hardest maps to really get a hold of if you don't have a lot of practice. But now, first map, that means we are going to be going to Icebox, Dart Monkey's map pick. And they actually do have a 50% win rate on this. So going just to the stats side, it's not technically their best map, but for the side of Team Mystic Venus, they have a 25% win rate. So
Mhm.
Dart Monkeys,
Ooh.
statistically, they have more of an advantage. And even though they do start on the attacking side, their attack win rate is slightly higher than their defense win rate. And then going over to the second map, which is going to be Haven, which honestly, excellent pick from Team Mystic Venus, who themselves have an 83% win rate.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, on the side of Dart Monkeys, you'll never believe this. They have a 0% win rate on Haven. So this is not their map
Oh.
at all. They are definitely going to be struggling on that second map. So I would predict that this is not going to be an easy 2-0 for Dart Monkeys, even though they made it into the top 8 event for the for Game Changers for the main event. They were the only unsigned team to make it, and Team Mystic Venus, they didn't even make it into the closed qualifier. But still,
Mhm.
really nice pick on the second map.
Yeah,
Wow.
like you said, that 0% win rate is extremely scary. I'm scared for Dart Monkeys. Maybe that was the map that they ended up losing to Randos to or whatever. Sorry, I'm bringing some drama onto the table. I like the drama, but yeah, I mean, Epitomes, I 100% agree with you. The Haven's gonna look scary, but for this first map, I mean, Dart Monkeys have a pretty good chance. They are the reigning champions, and Team Mystic Venus, they might be scared or they might just be confident here. But the agent selection is what's important. And of course, Epitomes, you're the map expert. But Becky, I'm gonna trust you with this information. I'm gonna put this onto your hands for this map pick. What are you expecting? What's something that pretty much is the meta on Icebox? And do you think anyone will stray from it?
I mean, there's a lot of kind of differences that you can do on a map like Icebox. I think you do end up usually seeing something like that Viper. Previously, when I watched Art Monkeys play Icebox on the last VCT Academy, they did have Grimoire on this Viper, and Grimoire was amazing, did an amazing job on the Omen, on some other maps, did an amazing job on Viper on this map, and was really kind of just the anchor for the team of for Dart Monkeys, and so very excited to see that go ahead and be the lock in
Mhm.
here. I think Sage is kind of like the biggest debate as far as team composition goes for Icebox, because a lot of people either love it or hate it, and there's not really an in between. And the teams that utilize it are able to utilize it very well for either that wall plant strategy towards B site, or being able to kind of get some really cheeky long range plant positions with that wall towards that like second level on A site. So a lot of potential things to come out from the Sage, but I think the chamber that Violet is kind of hovering is definitely the safer pick here.
Yeah, I mean, Violet, Team Mystic Venus, Violet has typically just been that chamber that the team likes to anchor around here. So, Violet being on the chamber is not a surprise for me, but chamber definitely has more flank watch utility when they switch over to the side, and he can also just put his things down, his utility, and leave. Meanwhile, Sage kind of has to be there to throw her slows, but she is more of an on-site defender sentinel and like is actually fits into the mold of a sentinel, whereas Chamber doesn't really fit into any of these categories that we have when it comes to ancients, but just has a
Mhm.
slow, so he's a sentinel, I suppose.
Yep, I like the Sage on Icebox, but I like you guys casting even more, so I'm gonna let you get to it.
I appreciate it very much, Gompers. We look forward to seeing you later today as well. Looks like we are going to see those two Sentinel choices be the only differences between these team compositions, and I think I'm comfortable with that. This is slowly starting to be where you do see differences. Just whatever your team is more comfortable with, though sometimes we have been able to see Icebox take on some no duelist team compositions, but neither of our teams here today are going to be able to go for that.
Now it seems like they're going to go for this A site push. They haven't. Oh, lineup from Gromar early into the round, I suppose, and that's going to. I'm not sure what that blocks off, but they don't even have to put down the toxic screen to start this. Then.
Yeah, I mean, going ahead with that wall to go down the plant, followed up by that heal coming out from SK, going to be able to top off Island quite nicely. And now, with everyone alive for the attacking side, that wall down, some snake bites coming out, some flashes to really just stop any sort of defensive play coming out. Definitely utilizing those tight ropes, but Bunny Bee just does not care, getting 2 kills. Autumn with the shock darts, the long plays, just chef's kiss. What a beautiful first perfect round to be coming out of Dart Monkeys.
Yeah, Dart Monkeys, you can definitely see why they picked this map. I mean, I wasn't sure what that poison orb was supposed to be blocking, but after you find that the barrier orb from Sage is just going to wall off a really safe plant spot on the A site, it definitely makes a lot more sense why they throw that orb there. And now it seems like they're actually going to try to reaggress on the A site. Meanwhile, Team Mystic Venus, they go for a really big gamble stack over on B.
I mean, I respect the gamble stack. It's not going to end up working out for them here, but I think that that's okay. And I think that they're actually just going to be happier on a save round had their 50-50 been correct, slash being able to continue to play with each other as they kind of go for this retake. It's just going to end up being better than what previously happened in the round where Luna went down really early and they didn't have all 5 to go for this retake.
Oh, well, they definitely know that there's someone on the flank. Remora is actually trying to peek it, but they're not spamming any shots here. Island, though, she spots one pre-tax microbe. Ooh. She's going to go for one, but Autumn and SK, they're going to be the ones to frag. And Island with 2 needs one more. She finds it. It's a 3K and another round win for the attackers.
I mean, that's about how you would expect it to go, though. You're happy to be able to buy up those Spectres, and also just the gamble stack just made it that much more difficult to get back on a site and get that defuse any which way for the defensive side. It looks like, as a result, we are just going to go ahead and see the defensive side reset up. I like this Viper wall that we're now seeing get utilized from the defensive side a lot. It blocks off where we've seen and now Dart Monkeys plant for 2 rounds in a row, so I think that it's a really great utilization and great adaptation.
Oh, nice adaptation. Oh, actually, Spike Carrier was the Jet, so they know where the Spike is positioned. But they also get a free gun off that first pick.
Oh, Aerie not actually able to finish off that Owl Drone. A lot of HP on that Owl Drone, I guess, is able to stay alive. Aerie picks up one, but Bunny Bee and Grimoire are on the case and finish off a lot more kills. Protects Microbe just peeking around this corner, able to find Autumn, and now Bunny Bee finally having a moment of reprieve to get this bomb down, yet until that Snakebite does come out, trying to peek around that corner, but it looks like just not gonna even worry about it. Being that separated from the other attacker means that we will see Bunny Bee. They're gonna go ahead and just simply move towards this A site to meet up with this other attacker in the form of Grimoire. So I like this decision. I like that it's also a very good way to try and bait Pretext Microbe away from the site completely.
Yeah, Pretext Micro kind of looking towards that A site, but this is a lot of information now being gathered, a lot of noise being made as well. Pretext Microbe not really in a position to stop the plant, however, so it's still a 1v2, and with Grimoire by her side, I suppose that she might have a lineup here, considering how far she is backing away from this site.
Yeah, I would like to imagine so as well, but we'll certainly see if that is the case. Pretext Microbe, though, trying to check around these corners. We are going to see Bunny Bee go ahead and start with that grenade. Isn't going to be able to get anything. Grimoire trying to move back to that position and gets very tagged up. A lot of damage dealt, but the tap from that bomb going to be the start here. Pretext Microbe able to finish off that kill onto Grimoire, followed up by the kill onto Bunny Bee. Now just has to wait for the Snakebite to go down, but that bomb is ticking too fast. So the lineup ending up working out okay anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Pretext Microbe, I feel like if she wasn't 4 HP, then she might have been able to try and stick that, but 3 rounds in a row, and they really don't invest into that last round either. So Dart Monkeys have a lot of economy to spare to buy into the rifles once again, and Team Mystic Venus are left, I guess, flailing a little bit with their economy. They have to stick with the Marshal as well as some Sheriffs, and they're not really close to the big ultimates either. No Tour de Force, no Bladestorm for any of these players, but on the other side, Bladestorm already for Island.
Yeah, this is kind of a heartbreaking third round to end up losing for the defensive side here, but now Aerie gonna use a little bit of information, try to get up and aggressive, but that was a very quick little shot to come out there and kind of scare Aerie back. Now Forced definitely a bit further back than you would like to be, as this jet that 0 point is going to stop if the dash wanted to come out, and Island going to be the one to draw first blood there onto Luna. This defensive side wall, once again, just doing a great job of holding off the attackers from being able to really commit to that default plant that they were able to utilize for those first 2 rounds.
Now, very slow. The tempo has basically stopped on the A side. They still have all of their players alive. They're trying to bait a rotation out of Team Mystic Venus, but they're being pretty patient here. So Bunny Bee just going to go ahead, throw out the 0 point, and start the initiation. Island already very far in, but she's going to back off to protect this planter here. Nice lineup. Oh, it actually takes down SK.
I mean, the nice combination of that lineup for the Shock Dart as well as that Snakebite does allow for that fall. Trying to get a little bit of damage onto this wall, but tagged up by that grenade and the Snakebite of the attacking side's own to just make it that much more difficult to get. Oh, no, Autumn. Oh, that up close shot from the Sheriff is going to be enough, and a little bit of a big kerfuffle there does actually end up going a thrifty round in favor of TMV.
Kerfuffle is right. That was, I mean, they decided to push the site that they knew there was a defender on because they thought that they had gotten enough, and they kept on using the same strategy, which I think was a little bit disrespectful to the side of Team Mystic Venus, because even after that first time where they started the plant right next to the generator, they had already been pinging it, figuring out the lineups for there, and SK goes down early, pretty devastating for the squad, and at least they do have money to buy back into it, but they're going to be up against full rifles now. Island, popping the Bladestorm early into the round, is able to avoid the 0 point, so she's not in danger of losing those knives, and it's an initiation onto that B site after the recon drone goes out.
Yeah, Recon did gather a little bit of information, at least that nobody is hanging out towards that A aggression there. Unfortunately, Island dashes right into Luna. Bunny Bee, though, nicely able to trade out, definitely holding down the fort. And now we're getting to see this patented wall plant strategy that has been so popular time and time again, but the very quick blowdown of that barrier orb will make it that much more difficult. Back and forth still very here for both of these teams as Aerie is just trying to find somebody to get some aggression onto, starts to defuse this bomb, but the snake bites are coming out and allows for SK to get a nice easy kill. All of a sudden it is just SK versus Pretext Micro, but that's an easy lineup while that while that utility is out. Oh, and the eco res. Okay.
Well, it makes sense. They lost one round, and even though, so they don't have to heavily reinvest into these guns. Once again, SK, even though she did survive that round, has to stick to a light shield and Bunny Bee now on the Spectre. And it's 8 points onto the ultimate, but SK being that spike carrier, as well as the person who is usually going to be grabbing those ult orbs, she farms up the ultimate pretty quickly here. And now it's more of a default play that we have not yet seen from Dart Monkeys. Their setup is very different. The early game adjustment is good, but it's also good from the side of Team Mystic Venus, who have picked themselves up an operator onto Aerie and taken complete control of mid.
Oh, yeah, this is really aggressive too. And we are seeing that Grimoire is kind of just waiting to see if somebody's going to decide to peek around, but based on the operator pickup, I don't imagine Aerie going much further than this. Is just trying to see when those few remaining players are going to try to skirt around to rejoin the rest of the team. And as that's about to happen, we might be seeing some action and some first blood barely on this corner. As Bunny Bee, the first to do a little jump peek and does force out that first operator shot, but with that, they're safely able to cross over.
Well, now they're moving over towards that B side. They found that the safer choice for themselves and actually putting out the Viper's Pit very early. Violet just spamming down shots, trying to find someone here, but they put the recon drone through. There's a lot of resistance already, though. They've already gone around, and Aerie, a nice shot into the Viper's Pit. She tries to spam another, is able to tailwind away. Autumn takes her down, but there is no way to plant on this site right now. They got to take out these defenders. Autumn's making a lot of space, but still in the end, Team Mystic Venus, they come out on top.
Holy smokes. I mean, that seemed like it should have gone so well, but nobody was kind of watching Aerie or watching SK as SK was going for that initial plant, and Aerie just kind of got to walk up into point blank range and just like operator shoot SK in the back of the head, which should never happen, even if the Viper's Pit is down.
Yeah, even though the Viper's Pit is down, I mean, I think they really didn't want to let go of the ultimate because they had already invested it, but it was just the wrong choice to keep going in when they knew there were so many people there, and the wraparound from Aerie with the operator was just incredibly sick.
And now Aerie, since you got to keep holding on to this operator, thanks to the rest of the defensive squad, we're trying yet a completely different strategy. Unfortunately, that strategy is met by the high angle held by Pretext Micro. Eventually falls to Grimoire with that Hunter's Fury. Oh, Grimoire getting close, but unfortunately that reload on that Sheriff means that Aerie is able to get a nice upward momentum. The right click won't be enough to connect. Autumn is forced back, and now with just a Sheriff, trying to decide, do we commit to this site? Do we walk into this operator? Unfortunately, caught in the middle of deciding, Jesse finishes off that kill.
And now Team Mystic Venus are making it pretty close here. They're only one round away from closing things up. They've got 3 ultimates on the board, and on the other side, they're just starving for the pips on the ultimates. Even though they do have the rifles now, they have to watch out for this operator. They've allowed Aerie to take up a lot of space these last 2 rounds, both up mid and around on the A site, so they need some way to sniff her out. They have the Sova, and Autumn is going to be really the hugest counter to be able to force operator players out of these positions.
I'm actually so impressed by that recon bolt too. It kind of immediately just forced, like, Luna's still holding this angle. I don't know if Luna was able to be caught out by it, but did kind of immediately force Violet back. So Nice little start to that round, and now, I mean, they're being a little bit pinged out, but they're not committed to anything just yet. And I mean, their last 2 aggressive rounds didn't really go in their favor, so I like that they're trying to adapt, and I like that they're trying to change their strategies as this owl drone goes up through that tube, trying to get some information towards kitchen.
They're still kind of sold out. They haven't really made any space onto either of the sites. Like on the A side, they have free reign to push up a little bit further onto the belt, but they just haven't done so. And because of the Viper's Pit, they're moving a lot of defensive power over to this B side, especially since they put down the toxic screen here. But Icebox is one of those maps where smoke's just not the most important thing, especially since they have that Sage. But still, they're expecting to go towards that B side, and it's a 1-for-1 trade already, Becky.
I mean, a good 1-for-1 trade, but
Oh,
Violet,
no.
though, I mean, that's a big kill to end up going down. And oh, Aerie is just, I mean, you said it yourself, smokes maybe aren't important, and that's why that Viper ends up being so important, but just does not matter when you have somebody like Aerie who is so aggressive and so ready. Jesse trying to trade back between Grimoire there, and all of a sudden it's left yet again just up to Autumn. Gets the bomb down with just a little bit of time to spare, but from above it is Aerie with the shorty.
Aerie is just dominating the server. Ever since she picks up that operator, it seems like she kind of has Dart Monkey's number here. And Dart Monkeys, they're pretty much falling a little bit short on their map pick, but perhaps it's also the fact that they might prefer to be on the defensive, but now they have to save, and they've called the time out from the coach here, trying to figure out what they're doing wrong. But they definitely were, I think, a little bit more hesitant to push onto these sites because they went for a really big confidence play in around the 4th round here, and they were shut down pretty quickly. But that wasn't because of how aggressive they were playing. It was more because they were being a little bit disrespectful with how far they were pushing, despite the fact there was a lot of presence here, and it just didn't allow them to get into any meaningful post plant positioning. But now they're playing really far back. They're playing kind of scared, and they just don't have any info. They choose to go to sites without knowing who's playing where.
Yeah, and I mean, they have to understand that there's been a little bit of an adaptation from this defensive-sided Viper, and it feels like they haven't tried to take advantage of it and go for a different strategy towards A. The one time that they did, they went through mid, and they just got kind of wrecked by Pretext Micro being in a very high angle that they just weren't anticipating. But I would love to see them try for it again, and instead of just like being once bitten twice shy, just be prepared to like check that angle the moment that you run into that area on A. But it looks like they're going to go for one of these default strategies towards A yet again, and we'll see if they make any adaptations here. Ooh, nice early crash there to start it off, as well as the 0 point from the defensive side. Actually, I'm getting a ton of information, and it looks like it is enough to kind of slow the attacking side, but Bunny B going to be able to 0 point right back, line up from Grimoire for that orb as well. Flashes just abound, keeping Pretext Micro pretty blind, but I mean, there's just a great use of this toxic screen. Bunny Bee has the high ground, but unfortunately that makes you that much easier to see. Violet picking one off with that Tour de Force to start us off, and Aerie is being very aggressive towards flank with this operator, the collab onto Autumn and SK, the generic just dash away, not able to get that quick shot. Cloudburst to keep safe. Aerie is against 2, tries to get some damage onto Island, is able to get a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough. And now we gotta slowly try to get back and get this bomb in a 2v3 situation. Grimoire gonna be the one to hold this operator for the attacking side, and what an exciting round this has already started to be.
I mean, even though this was a save, they now have guns in their hands, and especially this operator is something I'm looking at, because Island, she really needs to be the first one in, especially since the only person left over is a Viper. But now, oh my god, the Viper's gone. She's got the spike in her hand. The only thing she can do is perhaps get a plant or save this operator, but Violet, she's just wrapping around, and Island goes down. Dart Monkeys, even after that tack pause, are not able to find their way into the game just yet, but now they're able to really execute what they talked about since they do have the guns now.
I mean, and hopefully that will be a good way for them to bridge this gap. They had a good start to this game, but they've started to fall behind since the adaptations that Team Mystic Venus have been able to make.
The adaptations from Dart Monkeys thus far, they're just not working well. They don't have really sort of any anti-flank strategy because they don't have traps. They don't have trips that are going to activate on the flank. So they really need to keep someone there just watching it. But every single one of their members is necessary towards the executes on the sites. So their flank is just very weak.
And a lot of utility to start off going towards this A site. The wall will go down from SK as well as the bomb, but a bunch of damage once again. This time SK is going to be able to make it out alive, thankfully not being tagged up by that shock dart and snake bite. And now we have a 5v5 on our hands between these defensive sides. The grenade is going to force SK to fall there into that corner. Pretext Microbe as well, finding a kill onto Autumn. Trades back and forth, but while all those kills are happening, we are defusing the bomb. Island's gonna be able to pick up 2 final kills, but ultimately it just hurts to lose a round like that.
I don't understand why they keep going towards A. I think they've gone towards A 3 rounds in a row, and it hasn't worked out for them, and they keep trying to do the same plant. They really need to change up the strategy because they found a way to counter the plant in the corner. Just take more space. They're being very scared. Like, it's a very cheesy, cheeky, cringe strategy, you know, to just plant behind that wall every single time. They can, like, it is possible for them to go further in. But unfortunately, Island, after popping that Blade Storm at the very beginning of the round, she is suppressed by the 0 point.
Yeah, it has to wait for those blades to be able to come back out. And it looks like they're a little bit too scared to walk into that KO. So it looks like they're going to go and rejoin the rest of the team towards this A site. SK kind of watching some of these high angles. It looks like this time they're going to not go through that maze area and try to stick to belt for the most part. Well, they were thinking about it, and then they all dropped down into maze just to spite me. That's kind of how it goes sometimes, but it looks like Island's going to be the first one to actually get up close and personal here. Since that toxic screen is down, Island is able to be very deep onto the site, and they're going for a completely different plant this time, going alongside this attacking side Viper pit.
Oh, they're listening. Oh, but SK in a bad position. She tried to go further, but just didn't work. Now hiding inside the Viper's pit, Becky. But what the heck was that?
Airy just, I mean, you know, I think that SK's little ponytail might have been sticking out at the top of that Viper's pit, and Airy was able to pick that off with a shorty very nicely. Autumn picks up 2 as well, but it's just not going to be enough. Pretext Microbe and Luna going to be able to finish off those final kills and get the side of Team Mystic Venus to 7-4.
Team Mystic Venus are kind of running away with it at this point because we had a really strong start from Dart Monkeys, and now we're headed on to we're almost at the end of the half. Statistically, Dart Monkeys are better on the attack on Icebox, and yet they're still really struggling to find any ground. They've lost 6 rounds in a row. They have 2 ultimates available for the very end, but even when they do pop ultimates like the Viper's Pit and the Blade Storm, they're not able to capitalize that and turn it into a round win. And now Luna, she's going so aggressive, and they just do not know. Well, she misses a shot, thank goodness, but do they know that there's another one there? They definitely spam some shots into Violet.
I mean, and with that, Autumn's like, I want to get this information. Does immediately get flashed, but Island actually is going to be the one to pick up that kill onto Violet. And unfortunately, Luna wasn't close enough to behind to go for that trade back and forth. Jesse trying to also get equally as aggressive to go for a little bit of a pinch maneuver, but isn't able to make anything happen there. And finally, we are getting to see a good back and forth between these teams as Bunny Bee picks one up onto Pretext Microbe as well, going back for this default plant, except for that we can't quite make it because that wall might have been a little too shallow there. Grimoire to pick off yet another kill, but Ari and Jesse are just trying to keep themselves in it. All of a sudden, 2v2 situation after that flurry of kills. Autumn and Grimoire, the only ones remaining, and just a few blades left. And we'll be able to fall back onto a shorty or that Vandal, just trying to peek around these corners. The bomb is not down, and that bomb is being watched. Grimoire picks off Jesse, thinking about getting aggressive, but it looks like they're gonna actually just decide to get aggressive into this Cloudburst instead. Airy, oh, okay, nice little skirt around, finds the kill into Grimoire, but that was the low HP member. We are seeing that Autumn has full HP, trying to get some shots through that, and now, oh, is gonna get the high ground. This is so intense. Autumn just trying to figure out where Airy could possibly be. Airy does only have 3 bullets, so if we end up in a spray battle, it could potentially go poorly for Airy. They spotted each other, and the defuse is starting to go off. There's no way that we have shocked our lineups for this plant position, and
oh my god,
Blade Storm shot. I mean, the number of bullets in the chamber doesn't matter if you're gonna headshot that nasty.
oh my goodness, Airy, how did she pull that off? It was so close. Dart Monkeys almost had it, and honestly, I think them messing up it was ultimately messing up the wall onto that plant spot that really did them in for the round, because it allowed so much time for Jesse and Airy to rotate around, and Airy just clutches that one out. And now they're switching sides. Hopefully Dart Monkeys have some sort of strategy on this defensive half, but it seems like their strategy right now is to 4-stack the A site and hope that they go there.
I mean, there's a lot to be said for going for a strategy like that. Something like this, Viper has kind of canonically, through a lot of high-level play, just been so good at holding down that B site on your own that, especially on a pistol round, I think it makes a lot of sense to just throw a lot of people towards the A site, wait for Viper to give over any information, if at all, and there certainly will be some to be given over. Woo! Very nice long-range headshot from Island with this Ghost to draw first blood here, and the rest of the defensive side is going to move after that information from Grimoire here. It's going to be able to not quite get any damage onto Aryan Vengeance for the previous round, but that information will allow for Bunnybeat to find that kill into Airy. Luna, though, with a nice little trade back there, but still an agent advantage for the defensive side thus far, but Jesse is in an interesting position, but it just doesn't matter if Island is there ready to get the headshots. SK to back it up and find that kill onto Luna, but now we're going to be able to see kind of the same lineups that we were seeing from the previous Viper synergy, and now with that we are going to see Island and SK go for that aggression to try and finish it off, and they should be able to defuse this just fine. Plenty of time, plenty of ease for the side of Dark Monkey since moving to the defense, and so we'll see if they're able to bring it back.
Dart Monkeys, now defensive side, even though they gambled stack the wrong site, they're able to bring that one back. A nice rotation through mid as well, but they also surrendered a lot of control with that strategy, and I'm wondering if it was just a pistol round strategy, because now they are picking up the Spectres as well as the Marshals, and they're spreading themselves out a little bit more evenly, and one of the biggest advantages of having that Sage over the chamber is the ability to hold tube and mid a lot more securely with the help of the slows as well as a barrier orb just straight down the tube to stop them from aggressing into kitchen.
We might see SK do that, but a lot of it has been kind of held back because that early 0 point towards that area. Does not matter too much though, as Autumn been able to pick up that first kill onto Violet. This is a gorgeous plant position and very quickly set up here by Airy. That wall is going to be able to block off a lot towards that kitchen area. Island, SK, and Grimoire all flying onto the kill feed here as members of the attacking side fall. Luna the only one left, but this is going to be quite a peek into all 4 members of the defensive side. A flawless round going the way of Dark Monkeys.
Dart Monkeys, they're finding their stride once again. Defense seems to be more their style on this map of Icebox. And now it seems like against a full rifle buy, we got to see what strats they can pull out to try and win 3 in a row, not allow Team Mystic Venus to get any closer to double digits than they already are. But Team Mystic Venus, they've already put that wall down on the A site, but Dart Monkeys are not being baited by that. They're kind of giving up A site completely for free, focusing more on mid and aggressive push up B, because this is their eco. They don't have much to lose. They're bonusing.
And it looks like as a result, they're letting some aggression come back their way as well, but so far with Grimoire picking up a 2K, it's kind of going into their favor thus far. Bunnybee picking up one as well and keeping Dart Monkeys in favor here. Jesse's going to be able to pick up that bomb, but I mean, everyone from the defensive side is just slowly encroaching on your space, and thankfully that owl drone, ooh, whoa, okay, that was a little spooky. Airy, some nasty flicks almost made that much more difficult, but thankfully Grimoire 3 kills and picking up that round, so a very good bonus for the side of Dart Monkeys.
I mean, Aries definitely putting in the work for Team Mystic Venus's squad, but they win 3 in a row. Like you said, the bonus going their way is exactly what they needed in order to... What is that wall? Interesting wall from Grimoire, that half of it just like flying off the map, I guess. She doesn't need it. She doesn't need it anywhere else. It's just for the B side. And now it seems like more of a push towards the A site, and NMG Airy actually breaking her knees trying to get off the nest positioning, and it's unfortunately suppressed as well, so that's going to delay the entry onto the site a little bit and allow for some more rotations. But they just got to be careful of this mid positioning.
I mean, Bunnybee with a nice little nade throw will be able to do quite a bit of damage to Jesse. Airy also getting tagged up quite a bit, eventually falling to SK there. That Sage going to be able to do quite a bit of work by healing up a teammate there as well. Grimoire getting this orb down to go for a pretty safe defuse, at least under the cover of some of that toxicity, as well as just slowly encroaching on what attackers still remain as Island finds that kill onto Jesse. Violet and Pretext Microbe, though, trying to get some nice action right back. That lineup for that snakebite going to be able to find that kill onto Grimoire. Nobody was expecting Pretext Microbe to be that up close and personal. All of the members of the attacking side fall, and it looks like we'll just barely be able to get this defuse through to bring us to an even match.
Without the help of the poison orb, the snake bites just are not as powerful. And now an even match, 8-8. Both sides having 2 ultimates available, both the Blade Storms, but on the side of Team Mystic Venus, they're relying more on that Viper's Pit to take space, and the Resurrection is what's going to do it for the side of Dart Monkeys. Both of these sides both having full rifle buys, Island even taking out the Operator as well. So now having the Bladestorm and the Operator, she becomes very powerful on the defense, both contesting long ranges and able to re-aggress on the retakes.
Ooh, a little bit of information gathered by that recon bolt, but nonetheless, it looks like still trying to get very aggressive towards this A side, that defensive side. Toxic Orb gonna be able to at least stave off any ground pushes. Airy instead choosing to go for the high ground here, trying to get some shots through that screen and get off a little bit of damage, and it looks like it's gonna be enough space generated to at least get that toxic or Viper Pit to go down. Unfortunately, SK gonna go down to Airy, who's behind enemy lines. Thankfully, Bunnybee there to trade it back, and still with great advantage are the defensive side, but they do have to get through this Viper's Pit if they want to take this one home, and the attackers certainly aren't looking to let them have an easy way out of this one.
Bunnybee, she's in a pretty good position. Not sure if they're aware that she is there, though. And Bunnybee just peeking into the Viper's Pit, this cloud of goo, to see if they're sticking that plant. It's 30 seconds left, so if they want to plant, they have to do it now. Bunnybee, she definitely knows where the plant is going down, but has to be careful. The reload is heard by Jessie, but she doesn't go for the swing just yet. They're not really paying attention to this generator angle, though.
They've got to start to push onto this site eventually, though. I know it's hard to get through that Viper's Pit, but they've got to try and get aggressive. Island's able to gather one there onto Jesse, but Pretext Microbe is still the one remaining. Island misses the shot. Pretext Microbe to finish 2, but Bunnybee gets the final say, and that bomb not quite ticking fast enough for it to blow too soon, and Dart Monkeys will actually be able to bring this one and get themselves finally back into the advantageous position.
It's been a long crawl back to the light for Dart Monkeys, but they seem to have finally done it. Null Command, Viper's Pit, and Resurrection all online, so they've got a lot of ult economy to work with, and now the attackers they're almost on a save here. This is the last full buy that they have left in them. So they're really trying to make it count, tie up that score once again, build up the economy and pull ahead. But they need to be careful because they ran into that operator before. Now it's moved over to the B site. And if Island has the correct reads, then this can be very dangerous for the side of Team Mystic Venus. But now they might be more set up for a default.
I mean, we haven't really seen Team Mystic Venus get too kind of crazy since moving to this attacking side. We've kind of seen them go for a lot of very default strategies, and I mean, the default strategies that Dart Monkeys were employing were at least followed up by something like that barrier from SK on the stage. They're not really able to have that same level of potency, like sticking to a site the same way that you can with that sage in a post plant, and I think that it's really starting to affect them, and Dart Monkeys are just able to capitalize on it very nicely.
Dart Monkeys now. They've got a good setup. They have the Jet alone on the B site, which is pretty rare for a map like Icebox, but with the operator, very powerful tool here. And Grimoire, she's activated the Viper's Pit on the site. It's not a very forward position, though, so she's actually playing very defensively with this pit, but that's enough to dissuade Team Mystic Venus from heading onto the site. Instead, turning towards mid to try and figure out where they can go from here. But oh my god, Airy! No way!
Oh, Bunnybee, though, watching a great angle, just waiting to line up. I mean, Pretax Microbe used this angle. You'd think that they would check it, but they just don't. And Bunnybee gets to do the exact same play. And now Grimoire finishing off very nicely. The high angles doing wonders for Dart Monkeys.
That was such an excellent round for Bunnybee. They're just sitting on top of the screen and nobody expected it. If the entry doesn't check, I think on a team like Team Mystic Venus, they just kind of expect to trust the first person in. So when the first person does not look, they're like, oh, A site's clear, let's go. But then they get taken down at the last second and there's just not the time to readjust here. Bunnybee gets 3 and I really think that helped them secure the round here. And now on the other side, they are on a save with only the Sheriffs, but both the Bladestorm and the Tour de Force now being activated by this attacking side. They just need to avoid being caught out by the null command that we definitely see is online for our defenders.
Oh, an airy Bladestorm popped and blazing onto site. Oh, the shot missed from Island, but it doesn't matter when you get to pull out that nice little hip shorty and get up and close. Takes out Airy and Grimoire, also just continuing to be a menace since moving to this defensive side. Picks up 2 kills. SK to follow on. The Tour de Force is out, but the little owl drone able to ping out Violet, no problem. Ooh, a very nice quick scope.
Ooh.
Double quick scope. I mean, does fall to Grimoire, but those were 2 very nice shots from Violet.
Violet fighting for life to try and get them back into this game, but now Dart Monkeys, they have not lost a single round on the defense. Team Mystic Venus does not know what they're doing wrong now, and Airy is Airy definitely making the entries, but they definitely need more of a follow-up, and it doesn't always check every single angle. They also have very little map control, even though they do have the chamber. Dart Monkeys isn't a team that really likes to flank here, so they're not too susceptible to being hit in the back, but on the other side, they don't have mid, they don't have any info on A, they don't have counter info. So they just are forced into very small corners here. Oh no.
Island, in a rough situation, does get kind of tagged there and followed by Airy, but thankfully Autumn at least there to be able to get that little bit of a trade back. Violet, though, nice shot, aggression through mid, taken down SK, trying to maybe get a little too creative there as Violet picks up yet another kill there onto Bunnybee, and for the first time in a while, it seems like a strat from the side of Team Mystic Venus is actually working in their favor.
Oh my goodness. Violet was actually just sniped out of the air, but at least they've narrowed it down to 1 player. Autumn is on her lonesome now.
lonesome, and thankfully a lot of the attackers are split up, so isolating these into 1v1s is certainly possible. Maybe not so now that separation was made. The spray transfer was almost good for those final 2 kills, but thankfully Pretext Microbe able to finish that off before anything gets too crazy.
Autumn almost had them there. That was incredibly scary for the squad. But at least they are able to bring that one back and finally win a round on their attacking half, which means they can reinvest into the rifles as well. They have the Hunter's Fury online. They're close enough to the Viper's Pit as well. So it's possible that they will be able to get those ultimates in order to have a stronger post plan or just create some space for the team. And now we have that poison orb going down in mid so they can sneak up. But Autumn invests the Hunter's Fury early, tries and gets some damage, but no damage done and no confirmed kills. So this is incredibly devastating for the use of that ultimate.
Yeah, normally if you're not going to get a kill, you would like to get a little bit of information that Recon Bolt is still going to find SK. SK was kind of forced to drop off of that high angle because of a Recon Bolt as well, so that's a little bit unfortunate. That angle and that wall usage could have been really sweet to get a nice early kill, but is not actually able to be utilized by this defensive side. But some back and forths, finally some shots actually being able to potentially line up with some heads, but not quite able to, as the attacking side making an aggressive push onto Kishin. Autumn's gonna go for the swing, but Aries gonna be able to find it. SK on the job, finds the kill onto Jesse and Aerie. Both of those lurks answered fairly nicely, but is able to hear those stomping footsteps going through tube, and now Island into the thick of it, into the Viper's Pit. Some shots all the way across. Unfortunately, the reload will be the death of Island, but the reload right back will cause Pretext Microbe to fall to Grimoire and SK. The 3K, as well as the resurrection onto Autumn, finding that kill onto Violet, and Grimoire is going to have the Viper's Pit ready for this match point for Dark Monkeys.
Dart Monkeys are looking very strong now, and on the other side, Team Mystic Venus, they're holding on to that Hunter's Fury. They tried to use the Viper's Pit in the last round, and it just didn't work out. Pretext Microbe absolutely got run down by Grimoire in the last round, and they're probably sweating because they didn't expect to lose that round at all. They thought they could carry the momentum from the previous round into this one, and it just didn't work out. So now they really don't have guns on the board. They have Spectres, Light Shields, and a Stinger even from Luna. Aerie is able to pick up a Sheriff with the help of a friend buying her, and Pretext Microbe has the Vandal. But Viper's Pit already out on the A site, but they're still going in. They're still aggressing. Complete disrespect from Aerie sitting on top of this nest position.
I mean, but it's got to be so scary even from Aerie's position to think about dropping into that area. I mean, that would be
no.
I mean, also, yeah, giving away your position to not hitting Autumn in the head has got to be really rough too. Blind and just shooting, but thankfully Violet able to get that kill onto Bunny Bee and make it that much easier. Grimoire finding one kill in this pit onto Pretext Microbe, finding another onto Jesse, and just waiting for everyone to fall prey to Grimoire one by one. Picks up 3, but Violet finally with a save back, but won't be enough for SK and the side of Dart Monkeys.
Incredible comeback from Dart Monkeys. I must say, this is their map pick, so you kind of expect them to win, but it was looking really frisky in the beginning there because I was talking about statistics and whatnot, how they had a better win rate on the attacking side, so I wasn't the most optimistic for them when they switch over the half, but they end up winning so many in a row and are able to end up defeating them 13-9. But it was very close for Team Mystic Venus on a map that they only really had a 25% win rate on. And now we're headed over to Haven, which is a map that definitely seems very practiced on the side of Team Mystic Venus and is a struggle map for the side of Dart Monkeys. So I'm really curious to see what strats the Dart Monkeys can pull out in order to try and make that map more competitive.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a big reason that they were able to take home so many rounds on the defensive side, Grimoire had some Viper walls that you don't usually see on a Viper from Icebox defense. They were all kind of different. They were something that potentially the side of Team Mystic Venus just weren't prepared for. And I think that it's a big reason that they were able to just have such an oppressive defensive side. And so I'm very eager to see what's going to happen on Haven. I believe you mentioned that Dart Monkeys have a 0% win rate on Haven.
They do.
So it's going to be an uphill battle for Dart Monkeys, but I mean, it was an uphill battle for them in this game, and they were able to bring it home. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, we will be right back with that Haven matchup very shortly. We've been hyping it up, but for now, it's a quick break, and then we will see you right after with Haven.